Well, hello, welcome to Drawing with Fire. I am Valarie, your neighborhood pyrography artist. I'm joined today with hubby and Troy.
Hello.
And we are doing the second part of the February live advice. We have 6 pieces, and I'm going to try to go through these rather quickly. They're all awesome, so shouldn't take too awfully long. So I have Whirl's Bottle, and then we got Ginny's Raccoon, Ginny's Frog, Patricia's Beautiful Baby, Cindy's Moose, and Ted's Fish.
In fact, Whirl in chat. Whirl is not.
Whirl may be working. He was getting pulled in to do flights, so he may be working today.
Flying jet.
Flying planes. Hey, Burl, Teddy, Greg, Cindy. Shoot. Caught my language.
Good job.
Yeah, thank you, love. I dropped the pictures. Trying to move them off to the side. Now, I do need to preface this with these are all mine/our opinions, and if you like how you're doing it, then you continue to do what you're doing. Hi, Michelle. I hope I said that right. Alrighty, so Whirl wanted to know about doing the glass bottle, which he's already off to a great start. I think he's doing a beautiful job. If she's been able to work on this, I don't have the updated photo. So there's that. Liquid can feel overwhelming, but she's already got a great start to it. Looking at it, it just be, of course, it depends on how bright or dark she does the flowers as to how, which is why I've got the black and white, how far she goes with the shadows in the bottle. Kind of want to keep it together. What am I using? Oh, this is a charcoal pencil. That's why it feels funny. Alrighty, let's do this. So I would darken up some of the areas. Overall, she looks like she has her shadows and reflections in the right place, and that makes all the difference.
Yep.
Makes it look more believable when everything's in the right place.
Her lips just look good.
Yep. Well, I did notice that there's one line right there because, let me see here, I may be off a little bit. Let's bring it down. It is important to get the lines straight.
Yeah. While you're doing that, Marshall Hurley. You already said Greg, Jenny, Locke.
Hey, Jenny.
Spence over the fence.
Hey, Spence.
And April Gabriel.
Hey, April.
That's it.
Can Jason sound any more tired?
I know.
I'm tired.
Did you not have any coffee?
I'm drinking my first cup right now.
Oh, jeez. I guess maybe you and I try if he doesn't fall asleep.
I'll be fine.
Really? Because you sound so enthusiastic there. I'll be fine. Okay, ER.
What?
ER.
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 Oh, I thought you were talking about the television show. Like, what do doctors have to do with any of this?
Give you a shot of epinephrine.
I know. Oh, goodness. So straightening out some of these lines, which should be relatively easy. I mean, it's mainly this line right here that I'm seeing that's a bit off. And it's just following the shadows. Already have a great start. I know that Whirl was feeling a little uncomfortable with it, but you're doing a beautiful job. You know, she's not here right now, but hopefully she'll be able to watch this when she's done flying. Let's see here. Okay, so there's going to be a leaf here, and see that kind of throws it off right now because you don't have other things blocked in, so things may feel off when it's not. So I'll put that there just so we can see what's what. And that might help a little bit. I know we tend to start panicking, but until we get everything blocked in, you really can't tell too much. Alright. So deep breath. And just get everything blocked in. Even if it's really light, that's totally fine. And then you'll be able to have a better idea of what you're looking at. Yeah, I'm looking. The cork feels a little dark. And in order to fix that, because that is a dark burning, is... I had to turn here. Hopefully I'm on camera. There we are. Okay.
Moving camera.
This is going to have to go darker in order to balance it out. And then the highlights that are in here, there are a couple because of the glass rim. There we go. Let's see if we can get some of those in.
Ted's talking about his fish.
His fish.
He says, it's not much of a tail, but I'm kind of attached to it.
Oh.
Eeyore.
Eeyore. Well, I do need, if Ted can write in the chat what he's looking for the fish, so I know what to focus on. Whether it's contrast or... Alright.
You tell me what it is, and I will read the comments, because that's my job.
That's your job. Oh boy. He at some point he's going to hit the I'm so out of it phase that he's going to get really silly.
You're crazy.
Yeah, because I don't know you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for his forehead to hit the keyboard.
He already did that. When I came in, he was like that.
I don't know why I'm so tired.
I don't either.
I still gotta cook dinner.
I can cook dinner.
What?
I'm making shrimps.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you didn't say what shrimps you're making.
I'm eating shrimp and rice and stuff.
Okay.
Stir fry
Oh. Okay.
with shrimp.
Okay, so yeah,
This
just
is what we got.
this will just need a little darkening and straightening out some of the lines, and I'd say it's good.
Ted says, I don't know. You said you needed critique materials, and I was just trying to help.
Oh, okay.
So he doesn't have any specific comments about the fish. Or is it Pacific comments about the fish?
Okay.
Nah.
Here we go, Dad.
Yeah.
We're
Or
gonna
is
get.
it Atlantic comments?
We're gonna start getting dad jokes.
I'm a dad.
I know. That's why I know they're gonna start here in a minute. Alrighty. So yep, I would just keep blocking in and darkening up some of the darks. Don't be afraid to go darker, because those darks are what's really gonna sell. This being liquid. Let me make sure it's not gonna print out. There is a little shading here. And then
Ted
can move
says
on.
freshwater trout.
Freshwater trout.
Yummy.
It's been a long time since I caught a freshwater trout.
Me too.
So yeah, looking at the black and white, you can definitely see the values better. It shows that some of them run into each other, which is why I had the color photo as well, so I can see the detail of it. Just a little bit more.
But not everything is black and white.
No, not everything is, boy.
Ted says it's perfect for a live stream.
He's always got good dad
Ted,
jokes.
you're the master of puns.
He's not sleepy.
Your kung fu puns.
Your
are
foo is strong. Alrighty, so does anybody have any questions on this one? If not, we shall move on. Next, we got two for Jenny. And I know the frog was really frustrating her. But we're going to start with Raccoon, because that's the first one she submitted.
Oh, she's got two.
Yeah, she's got two.
Oh.
But I'll be able to get through the raccoon quickly. She feels like she's lost her focus on the raccoon. Let's see here. Let's look quickly. There's only a couple of things I see. Other than that, you're doing a beautiful job.
Yeah, I don't see any lost focus.
I definitely love how you do the fur. It's very almost whimsical. I love that.
You guys are in the future.
Okay, yes, we're in the future. I would make sure to follow.
I'm watching in the now.
Follow the line on the forehead. And I know how overwhelming a raccoon can be. That one I've done. I have done that one.
It's a beautiful raccoon. How'd she do the whiskers?
It looks like it's the white titanium from Color Pencil blender. I think that's what he used there. I would have waited on, so it's acrylic based. So I would have waited on the whiskers for the very, very end. But I think we can get around them a little bit. Because there is a little spot under here that I would do some more burning to finish shaping off the fur. And see right here, you'd have to burn over the titanium white. And I know how much we all want to see where it's going to end up. Waiting and giving it a few days before we add anything color-wise to it makes a big difference, because then you can decide if there's anything else you want to do with it. Now on focus, I would say the eyes are the biggest focus, and that's where I would spend the most time. Let's see here.
I think I'm hallucinating.
Lovely.
Jenny says I got the poops with it and rushed it. Did she really say that?
I'm looking. Where did she write it? Jenny, perfect for live stream. She's the great like scrambling. I got the poops with it, and nope, that's what she wrote.
Okay.
Jenny, I think you might want to clarify, because Jason thinks he's losing it.
Is this real life?
It's real life. It's real life. We're gonna have to give her a second though, because she's got to catch up to us.
Okay, I'm with you, Jenny. I'm watching on the screen that you guys are. It's very confusing because I'm listening in the future, but I'm viewing in the present.
In the past. For me, it's the past.
But it's the present for everybody else.
Let's see here. There is a little bit of hair that sticks up in the back.
But they're hearing me in the past.
They're hearing you in the past.
Whoa.
Yep, here we go. Everybody buckle in.
Deep.
He's going to have a trip without even taking anything.
This picture makes me want to watch Guardians of the Galaxy. This rocket's the best.
I can wake up, Jason.
No.
Yes.
Before you do that, make a warning for anybody that it may be wearing headphones.
Right.
Because
I just need to shut my eyes for like.
Well, I'll leave it up to chat.
5.
Chat, would you like me to wake
No,
up,
don't
Jason?
ask chat. They're mean.
Oh, you just said that? They're not mean.
The toasties, they're mean. Where Cap is concerned.
No, they're not.
They're like, yeah, he's out of the room. Let's talk about him. Yeah, let's get him. Get the torches.
We keep our torches to our artwork. Let's see here. Some of this could go a little darker. But to be honest, the face, if you wanted to leave it, I think you've done a beautiful job.
It's got really nice contrast.
It does. I think it needs a little more down here. That way it feels a little more balanced.
It looks like she's working her way that way.
Yeah. It's just with the white.
Bill says no, I'm wearing headphones.
Somebody's on your side, Jason.
Thank you, Barrow. You're the best.
Yeah, I warned. Headphones. Let's see. I really do like how you've done the fur, especially on the head. It just feels light and...
Oh, it's lack of sleep. No. From last night.
Well, why are you lacking sleep from last night?
Because we got up early.
Oh, yeah?
He's just figuring that out.
Well, yeah.
Well, you were there.
Yeah, I know. God, what happened to me? I used to be able to, like, some of our missions would last, like, 3 days.
You're old. Alright. So even if you don't follow the fur pattern on the body...
Ted says, I'm not mean. Or else his handlebar mustache. Ted, you're alright. Okay.
So even if you kind of go off on the fur pattern in the chest without seeing the reference photo, you're really not going to... Nobody's going to notice that. So it's okay. But we are limited to what can be darkened because of the white.
Limited. That's
Limited.
That's Ted's evil, weak twin. Limited.
Sorry, guys. I didn't realize he was playing a video game. He was all good to go. I don't know what happened.
Sometimes you run out of fuel, and then you're out.
Well, drink some more fuel.
And then the bad jokes come.
Oh, he doesn't need to be
Oh.
tired for that. Alright.
He usually does better than that.
One thing I found with mine, is it really needed to have a darker mask to offset the beautiful eyes. See, if this was gouache, you could wash it off, but I don't think it is. Because I know that Jenny has the color pencil blender, and we've talked about using the titanium white. Let's see here. These darks really help frame these eyes. I really love doing the raccoon eyes. The fur was a pain in the butt.
I would suspect that's time consuming.
My piece is a 16 by 20, and it took me over 105 hours.
Wow.
So it's in the hall.
No, it's not. It's in the bedroom.
It's in the bedroom.
I know where it's at. It's on my side of the bed.
So what's in the hall? I just passed something in the hall.
Which hall?
Our hall.
There's
Our
two
house
different
in the
halls.
middle of the street.
I'm sure that's copyrighted.
Huh?
Sure, the song is copyrighted. All right. So yeah, I think just a little bit more darks and okay, gel pen. Okay, yeah, most of the gel pens are kind of like gouache, so you might be able to wipe that off. One thing is important though, when you do decide to go in and put the whiskers as straight as possible, following the curve. I know it's hard to do, but I would definitely try if you can.
Okay, so Jenny says, thanks, Valarie, that helps. And I used gel pen for the white one. I could probably wipe off with alcohol.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Coffee with Red Bull.
God, no. He would not sleep. He's too old for coffee and Red Bull.
Make coffee with Red Bull instead of water.
No, he's too old for that.
That's just like adding instant coffee into a can of Red Bull.
Yeah, don't do that either. You're too old. Alright, so that's what we got with this beautiful guy.
It's really good.
Poops was polite for speak. Ah, gotcha. Okay,
But it means the same thing. I still don't understand. Like,
he was cussing.
oh, but is she sick?
No, he was cussing
Yeah,
about
but
her
she
artwork.
said she had the poops.
Oh, well, then maybe he did. Oh, he's been sick, love.
Oh.
He's been sick.
I
I don't know if he started a new medicine.
Okay.
He's been sick.
Sorry, Jenny.
Okay, so this one is done on paper. It's Jenny's first paper burning, and he's having a harder time with it, and paper can be very temperamental. But he had said that there was a spot next to the eye right here where it left a blob. There is some good news about paper. This is a test strip that I've got laying around. You can take, I would probably do this wait till the end if possible. And also if you're adding color, especially water media, just remember it's going to change how the paper takes it in the area. Ah, damn it. You can take a knife. Thank you. You can take a knife and you can actually scrape paper.
What's on the frog's head?
Butterfly. You can actually fix I would say small areas.
Sorry, that's not the art. That's just my perception.
Yeah, he's so out of it that you can.
I'm sorry. I'll be quieter. Jenny says it's an Aussie saying, meaning frustrated.
There you go.
I'm learning Australian.
You'll probably retain it better too. So you can scrape on paper. In fact, I'll have it closer so we can try it again.
So that scrap you have there is paper?
Yep. It's watercolor paper.
And I would assume, since I've never done it, that it burns a little faster.
No, actually, it takes a higher heat and takes longer.
Ah, see?
Because it's basically compressed wood pulp.
Well, it depends on the paper. This is cotton.
It's basically compressed cotton pulp.
So you can fix a burning on paper. And like I said, if at all possible, I would save it to the end.
Oh God, Moonlight's out.
And if
get coffee.
Let's see here. If I remember right, you can also sand. I'm gonna have to put it on my board. The sanding will kind of actually blend it a little bit. But again, if you're adding any kind of water media, it is going to change the makeup of the paper or how it accepts. So you can even sand to lighten it as well. This is just a sanding stick, which is all it is leftover remnants of a cut up emery board that they package into sanding twigs. And this one is, these are the fine ones. Oh, and they're washable. I've just been cutting them off as I go. Yep, fine. And it came in a pack of 100. So I've got 5 of these packs.
So not going to break the bank.
No, I think this was maybe $7. I have enough to last for the rest of my art career. Let's see here. I know he could have access to 400 grit paper. But this is going to do a bigger area. Doesn't work as well. Alright. So, why won't they stay? Here we go. So for the burn itself, it's again still hard to judge because there's not enough burning. It is harder to get a smooth gradient on paper, but it is doable. I would say with your 18M going on a lower heat in circles to kind of press the paper down. Let's see here. I can do it here. I can do it here. Just gotta let it heat up.
April asked, is the sample strip hot pressed watercolor paper?
Yes, this one is hot press. I can't remember. This actually may be wood pulp. And unfortunately it's going to burn through because I don't have a board. There we go. Alright, so this is on 3. And in order to get a smooth burn, it'd be tiny circles. and then pulling it out as you go in the area that you want on a lower heat. Let's see here. Let's zoom you in. Board underneath. Jenny did learn the hard way that you need to take the paper off the pad because it will burn through multiple heats. But I don't think that ruins your paper that it accidentally burned. You could just make that abstract and use it. So just going in small circles. Like I said, I'm on 3 for the lighter burns. And then let's do 5 for the darker. There we go. Now paper, you're going to have to clean your tip more often because paper does leave more carbon on your tip. So just going in small circles. This is 5, and normally 5, it's pretty darn dark on wood. Whereas this, to me, would be considered a medium burn. Okay. So you can get those smooth burns. You just got to take your time and not stay in any one place. And then if you want to go black, let's see. This is on 7. And you can definitely smell paper. Let's see here.
I smell Jason.
So this is on 7.
Ooh, that's fast.
Mm-hmm.
I smell different.
I didn't say you smelled bad.
And you can also, depending on what you're burning, use the heat that's bouncing off the tip onto the paper but not actually making contact. It is burning outward. You can use that to help with shading.
Yeah, I see some kind of shading look at the top there.
Yep. That is just, that's where the tip was hovering over the paper but not staying, not touching. And then, since that's really dark, we will just very carefully, because if you go straight down, you're going to cut the paper.
If you had a really long cord, we could put the controller for the Optima in the garage, and then we could have like a radio where you could call down to the garage and say, "I need number 3."
Why would we do that?
There could be one of us in the garage that shouts to the other one who's on the optical control like a submarine.
So there,
like, Optima to number 3.
Aye, aye. Report Optima to number 3.
Whatever you need, love. Whatever you need.
We can play Submarine Commander then.
You know what? We ain't gonna have it.
Something like
that. Yeah, let me. Alrighty.
So could you intentionally burn real dark like that and then draw your details in?
I would be very careful with that because when you do burn on the paper, when you do scratch it, it damages it. You can feel the difference.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you're actually removing fibers when you do that. So I would save this to the end. You can burn over it to fix it. And see, that's how hot I was.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So if I wanted to go, yeah, so I need to check. See, that's the paper carbon on the tip.
Yep.
Yep, that's what that is.
Just take your finger and clean it off.
You just take a strong and wipe it off. This helps to keep the.
You almost touched it.
I did touch it. See, look, I'm touching it.
But it's on.
No, it's not. I knew it wasn't on. I just clicked it on, though.
Oh, the light wasn't on.
Exactly. If the light's not on, nobody's home.
It's a magic trick. You could have told him you have really strong fingers.
All right, so this is going to be just, I'm going to put it on 4. Just to burn over where we scratched. And even just like wood, I always have, this is a scrap piece for testing. Alright, so 4, let's make sure. It's a really light burn. But now the fibers around where I scratched is going to grab the tip. So I have to be careful.
Grabbing the tip does what?
It gives you less control.
Okay.
Yeah. It'd have to be a dark burn. And if I'm using, let's see here, colored pencil.
Oh, you're using a bowl for pencils. That's cool.
Yeah. Let's see here.
I didn't know that you were using it. I forgot I made that.
So it will take a little bit of color. It takes it differently than where it's not scratched. You just gotta keep all that in mind. Love, I've been using it since the art show.
I just noticed it.
Alright, so.
What? Oh,
going.
that's a lot. You just stuck it back.
I don't know what's going on behind me, and I don't know that I want to know.
There's Xena on me all over.
Yeah.
I know.
Look at this.
I know, love.
Jason
Oh,
is
jeez.
10%
And then
Xena now.
And then you bring it my studio.
I didn't even.
Our dog is blowing out her coat yet again.
Blowing.
So you can go darker.
Let's see what they said about me while I was gone.
They weren't talking about you.
We'll see.
So, trying.
They didn't. Thank you, chap. You guys are alright.
The biggest thing with paper is it takes more time and more patience than wood. So you really, and with those small circles on a lighter heat, you're pushing the cotton fibers down and getting a base burning so that you could go a little darker over it in the hopes of getting less blobs.
So what is your advantages to using paper? Why would you?
Don't have to sand. It has a different look.
It's easier to frame.
It is easier to frame. It's in the scheme of things cheaper to storage.
To mail.
For storage. Lighter to mail.
Oh yeah, so you can roll it out.
Oh, no, you'd want to send it flat. You definitely want to send it flat at all possible. Okay, so by darkening, I'm going to darken the water so that we have that separation.
Welcome to the darkening.
I love that subject though. That's
Frog?
just cool,
Yeah, it's cute. It has a very almost innocent, friendly feeling. Let's see here. We're going to see less detail in the reflection. So let's go ahead. Take that out. Water, we have to go horizontal.
But is it the reflection or is it real?
It's a
Are we
reflection,
the reflection or are we real?
I'm real. I don't know about you right
I
now.
don't know.
Let's see here. So these darks are what's going to, and though there are details in the shot in the reflection, we don't want them to be as strong as in the subject itself. So a little blurry. Let's see here. Less defined. The information is definitely there because it's a close-up photo. But softening the reflection is going to help, because even the whites in the reflection are lighter. Let's see here. I know she kind of put this one off to the side because she was really frustrated with it.
It looks like a tough piece to do.
Water is always a challenge, I think, because it can have so many different ways of appearing.
See, like the eye in the reflection is much lighter than the eye up top. So let me see if we can blend that out a bit. And of course, I'm doing this with colored pencils, so the burning itself is going to look different. Let's see here. I need to shape his nose. And here you can do all the detail that you want. And in doing more detail up top, it's going to kind of take the focus away from the bottom without completely stealing it. So it is important. Sorry, I'm trying to think and move at the same time.
Yeah.
Let's get this in.
Kept my mouth shut.
Yes. Yes. Just so we can go darker on these eyes. Gun. Love, are you awake?
That's right.
Is
Yes.
Cat saying anything? Any questions?
Hold on.
This is darker on this side.
They're talking about the frog and the butterfly.
Okay, that's what we're doing. The bug and the butterfly.
Saying that it's a vegan frog.
Oh, because it's not eating the butterfly.
That's his friend.
That's his friend.
And he says the butterfly likes living dangerous.
Alright, so let's just get some of this blocked in so we know where to go.
An adrenaline junkie. He only drinks Red Bull.
Oh, jeez.
Or Monsters.
Alright, a little darker in here. Let's see here. Gotta get, trying to get the patterning right. I've only done one frog, and that was for World Pyrography Month. Still haven't finished that piece yet.
I was gonna say, I don't remember frog.
Yeah, there's a frog in there. It's a different kind of frog. We did a live stream on it.
You got something against frogs?
We did a live stream, love. Let's see here.
I like how the reference photo is pretty dark on the butterfly, lacking detail, and she changed that up.
Yep.
And there's some beautiful detail now in there.
And that's the fun part of being an artist. You can look at change your reference up. In fact, the elephants I've really changed up. And we're going to look at Cindy's, where I had to pull some references that are not the same as hers. I don't know if Cindy's is a pattern. And so, okay, I think it's that blob right there that she was talking about. Is this the blobs, Jenny? Because you could work that in. Just go darker. Let's just change the paddle,
I think it could just be something in the water.
Yep. Let's see here.
Could be a submarine.
Why are we on submarine?
Captain.
Jason started it. And I thought it was a cool idea.
Yes, that one, says Jenny.
Alright, you could scratch it back. Or you can incorporate it and change your reference a little bit.
Would that take a lot of
In
paperwork
fact, you could put...
to incorporate it?
Nope. You could put another lily pad. Like this is, you could put a stick here if you wanted to. Oh God. Should I start sending SOS messages? Let's see here. What else could we put there?
And Ted says the hunt for Red Bull October.
You could put another leaf here if you wanted to. See, that's under the water, but you could actually have it sticking out of the water. That might take a little bit of finagling, though. Let's see here. See, that's the back of him back here in the water. See, I can only tell what it is for him. It looks like his legs right here because of the color photo, not the black and white. That's why I tend to have at least both. Let's see here. So this goes. What is that?
What? That's not. That's not helping, dude. That's just.
I think this right here is actually all him.
That'll probably help.
Kind of blur it out. Oh boy, what was that?
What's what?
Oh, that was my phone.
Oh, okay. So I think stick with it. It would be very good practice. And paper can feel a little overwhelming at times, but you do have a little bit of leeway on it. And in fact, if you wanted to, you could take your piece of paper after you've done this and maybe crop it a little bit as well, so that you don't have so much of a dark on the right, because it kind of feels unbalanced. But if you kind of, I think, cropped it right about there, and if you wanted to, you could either go up or bring it down so that it's less. Let's see here. Let's say crop there. And maybe, not so close there. Let's leave that here. Right about there. It does put him in the center, but that's okay. And looking at it this way, without that dark, it almost has, and this is a compliment, the illustrations from the book that our kids read, what is it, Toad and Frog? I think they read it in like 2nd grade. This looks like an illustration, and I think it looks really cool. Because in doing this, taking away this black, it feels more.
Looks like a real life illustration.
Yeah, that looks really cool, huh?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's what you can do, especially if you're working on paper, is you can cut a mat in different shapes and lay it on your work, on your reference, until you find a position you like, so that you know how to lay it out. In fact, on this, I would probably, to incorporate that, maybe do a little bit of dark bouquet around him, kind of bringing it in. If you do that, you'd need a little bit over here.
Ted remembers the book.
Yep. That would be it. Toad and Frog, free from the... It was never free when I was... See, I didn't read it as a kid. My kids read it.
I always wanted the sticker books, but we could not afford them.
Yeah, neither could we. Alrighty, so Jenny, do we have any other questions?
You guys are mean.
Oh yeah, a tadpole. You could put a tadpole there. Burl mentioned a tadpole.
Oh yeah.
For that, you could. Or
some anti-submarine mines.
Or one of those water spiders. That could work too. But I definitely think you should keep up with this one. It'd be good practice and good with to see where it could go. And if we don't have any more questions, we shall move on.
It could be a hole for lily pad too, where it's dark.
Yeah, it could be a hole.
Could
be a hole.
A rock.
A rock?
No.
No.
I wasn't saying nothing.
Alrighty, we got Patricia's
Rock.
6-month-old baby. I don't see nothing.
Jenny says, ow. No, she doesn't.
She doesn't say ow.
No. Jenny says, thank you so much for the advice for both pieces. It has been a huge help with both of them. I will go back and finish them after the tiger.
Awesome. In fact, we are doing a tiger on Tuesday.
Tiger Tuesday.
Tiger Tuesday.
You inspired me.
Oh, actually, it was Sheila's tiger. You didn't see Jenny's tiger until after we picked a photo today, and I heard you.
Okay.
Alrighty, we have this beautiful cutie. I love that smile. Now, Patricia says she knows that the face is a little wide, but we can actually kind of bring that in. We could fix that. In the photo, she took the photo upright, meaning with the piece like this. I don't want to know what's happening behind me. But the baby kind of looks like it's laying down. Ted, don't. What are you doing?
Try to knock stuff down.
It's a pattern. So what we need to do is pull this baby up so that it's sitting up, just like the reference photo. Patricia was wondering if I would help her with what she's already burned or how to start a new one. I think you can keep going with what you have. I really do. Yes, the head is a little wider, but I think if we pull in the shading, and the couch definitely needs shading behind this little one, because right now it looks like the little one's laying down, and that's all because of the lighting. So let's get some shading on this couch. And in the future, if I did a piece like this, actually it does need to be brought in a little bit.
Here in the future.
Okay, she's a little wide. So maybe this isn't an upright photo, because maybe I should have checked it, and I didn't. Anyway, in the future, if I did a piece like this, I would omit the couch completely. I wouldn't have the couch in the background. I'd completely omit the couch. She could be sitting on a pillow or something like that. But the couch, to me, is not information that I would include in the piece. Her sitting up with just a basic shading in the background, I think for this would feel more like what she's going for. Because this harsh line right here for the couch takes away from the baby.
Oh no.
What's wrong?
Jenny has to go because her hubcap is in a hospital with collapsed lung. So she's visiting.
Jenny, why didn't you say something? I would have bumped you up.
Stream on replay. Thanks again for the wonderful advice. Smiley face, sunglasses face. Fire, 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 fire.
Thanks, Jenny. I hope hubcap heals very quickly, and next time let me know. I would have bumped you up.
Yeah.
I try to do it in order, but I think Whirl would understand.
Yeah.
Okay. So even with, let's see here, based on these patterns.
Does anybody else have somebody in the hospital so we can bump them up?
I know.
I do.
Yeah, I know, but we're waiting to hear about your dad.
I know.
Alright. So we would have shading. Yes, please. This part of her dress would be more in the shadows, because looking at it, our light source is coming from this direction, and we know that because of the light hitting, how it's hitting the couch. It's also a bit coming at her because of the lighting and the wrinkles in the dress. We see lighting on the toes. We have a brighter highlight on the right cheek than we do the left cheek. So we need to focus on all of that. And in order to foreshorten, which this is arm, is foreshortened because it's going back. So it's not the full length that you would be used to seeing. That needs shadow to pull that off. So we would go darker here. And it's resting on something, so there's always a shadow underneath. It's rounded, so we'd have more of a shadow coming down from the top based on our light source. So we can pull that in. I would just... In fact, you could have her hand resting on a giant block or something like that. And omit the couch all together. And since we got it, let's darken this so that he's sitting up. And the lines you're getting is from my board. So let's do this. Following the forms, especially for portraits, is the biggest thing in order to get it right. Now, if we looked at the picture upside down, we see an oval for the mouth, not a mouth. We see a square for her dress. We see I can't even think of the name of it. For her face, we see this shape. It allows us to take the shapes that we see instead of the detail. In fact, we have this shape for her body, and this is just a quick one that I'm doing. So, and then when we turn it right side up, we have a body. So that's why it's so important to be able to flip your reference. Though when you're new to burning, I suggest you flip both your reference and your burning. Don't do what I do, because you're going to feel more confused. But when we're dealing with lines, it's important to keep them straight as much as we can. Let's see here, what can I do here? Let's pull this up. What we can do, this would be very light. She's using a razor tip, so you'd use this on lower settings. I would use small circles with your favorite shader, though not a ball tip. A ball tip won't get you the smoothness that you're looking for baby's face. Let's see here. You got a lot of wonderful contrast. They're over here passing notes behind me.
He had a technical question.
About?
Yeah, I got it.
About
that was going on.
Got it. No, there's a reason. So let's follow these shapes that we see. We got more hair up top. Let's get these angles right. Let's see here. We could actually blend out this hair a bit into the couch. And in doing that, we reshape the head.
Kind of like Xena does?
Yeah. Yep.
Or could you sand that out?
It could be sanded out. Yep, it could.
Because where the ear's at, you could kind of bring the head straight up from there.
Yep. But I think because of this line on the couch, if she's going to burn in the couch, it's going to have to be dark, like this, in order to blend out. Even sanded, this line is not going to, it'll only go a couple shades lighter. So in order to hide that, it'll have to be a darker burn. Let's see here. But it's really important to get the shapes of a face, let's see here, as accurate as possible, because you change who the person is when you change their face. Oh boy, do I want to know.
It's not her photo. I remember you saying looking at the baby on the couch, but for some reason in my head I was reading as a giant sun hat.
Oh, Oh no, I can see the sun hat.
Even in the reference, I'm like, wow, that baby's got a really big hat on.
I see it. So let's see if we can get rid of. What I'm trying to do is reshape.
Sleep deprivation is not good.
See here, this ear, because of the angle, would be closer to the head. So we need to pull that in. And like I said, you may have to go dark in order to do this. Let's see here, we got a bit of cheek. It comes out this way. But you can reshape it. So I would not give up. I would definitely experiment with this one. And if you wanted to redo and do another one with the stuff you learned, I think that's a good idea. But shading is what makes a face, not the lines. Let's see if I can fix this. My pencils are very sharp. Ah, again.
Would you like me to sharpen one?
I swear I did that. Thank you.
Taking away my job.
Well, no, there's a sharpener over there if you want to.
Valarie always plans ahead.
Well, my good sharpener is behind you guys. Alright. Little sharper.
What?
And you could even do a bit of a crosshatch shading.
Is it the one that's on the side there?
Black, Derwent.
No, is it?
Crank.
Is it crank? Yeah, that one. Okay.
Because even. I'm throwing pencils.
I'm awake.
Thank you.
Oh, it don't fit. It's too big. Jason.
That's what
Jason.
I was waiting for that. Which pencil is it? It should fit fine.
Doesn't it have one of those rotating things like in school? Like you rotate the thing and the pencil goes in the thing.
Yes.
No.
It doesn't.
Let's see here.
Oh, at the top. No, you gotta squish the top.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. Alright, so let's get this shape a little more on. But yeah, even a crosshatch background where your lines aren't smooth gives it a little bit of artistic flair. And in doing this, when you get to a line like this, you can actually incorporate that line a bit.
How? Can you cross hats with the burner?
Yes. In fact, I'm going to be doing that not this Tuesday, the following Tuesday.
Oh,
I'm gonna show techniques for different styles.
Oh. See, I wasn't sure because I thought it would like leave too many.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See? Alright, so we still need to pull this baby up. This baby. So the shape of the shading in the face is what is gonna do it. Let's see here. Let's see if I can smooth this out. We don't have dark eyebrows. What are you doing, love?
He's reacting to chat.
Oh. Let's see here.
No, I was thinking about something else, but I can't remember the.
I have the nose off. Let's see here. The nose is what's going to make the cheek. Let's see here. And we do have shading underneath. So let's see here. Ah, thank you, Tara.
You are welcome.
Alright.
Glad to be of service.
Yeah. So let's pull this in.
Ah, Eugene Levy.
What?
I
went too dark.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say it because it'll just make me sound crazy.
You're stopping now? Let's see here.
It's quiet.
That close slide. Alrighty. Sorry I got quiet. I'm trying
No, the heater went off. It's quiet.
I know. I'm talking to them about me being quiet, though.
Oh.
I'm trying to think. Let's see here now. The whites of the eyes are never white. Trying to think how I would do this so Patricia can decide what she wants to do.
Doug is here.
Hey, Doug.
Yay.
Oh my God, homie. So good to hear from you.
All right, we gotta watch.
Keep missing each other on PSN, man.
What was that? Doug from Warframe?
Yeah.
Hey, Doug.
Your clan member.
Warframe in life.
In life.
All right, the mouth is a little off. I think I would sand the mouth.
Go to the dojo, Doug. Go to the dojo.
Hey, clan business on your own time there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because we won silver, man.
We are.
Oh, has he not been in?
No, yeah, it's not been in lately.
So on the side that has less light hitting, or more light, oops, don't ignore that. More light hitting it, we still need to do some burning to get that highlight there. Though you could use, if you wanted to, you could use a pastel pencil to put the white highlight so that it's soft. Let's see here, I still feel off on this. We're just going to pull it in. I'm trying to shape. That means we pull the ear in. It comes this way. We do need a neck. You can see right here we got a bit of her dress going up. So we need to, let's see here. Let's see how much we can.
Doug just asked if that's Troy. Yep, he came over for a visit.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the baby in the photo. Because that's what I'm working on.
Well,
That's a girl baby. Doug.
you kind of had that haircut when you were younger.
Yeah. So light burning.
You have that haircut now, so don't give me a hard time.
Yes, Doug, that is an awesome, awesome piece of entertainment.
Right.
I'm almost done with that one.
Let's get this in here, and then we will quickly. Let's see here. We need that. Having your drawing accurate and having the shadows kind of outlined where you want to be will help to softly block them in, and then you can go back. In fact, that's too light. Let's put that in there. Those are light ones, so we can go darker here. I need to do another portrait soon. Alright. Yeah, the neck comes down right there, and then our dress comes. See, we got, this would be your double chin for the baby, which most of them have. But by changing where the dress falls, let's see here, that one comes up a little bit. That.
I'm pretty sure I didn't have a double chin.
I'm pretty sure you did. Most babies do. This is a 6-month-old, and even with her, bring her cheeks in a little bit more, she still has a double chin. Let's see here.
You're, I'm sure, like a baby that is unnaturally tall.
I was supposed to be unnaturally tall. Thank goodness I wasn't.
I was a super baby.
Super baby. You could actually do a light burning along this side of the face, except where we do have a bit of a cast lighting, because this part of the cheek is actually standing out. So what I do, let's get some more of this in here. Blend it out. The mouth is a little off on the drawing because we don't really see, because her mouth is open, we don't see this corner of the mouth. It draws it in. And then I know it's hard and it always feels confusing, but this line on the lip, I would soften this just with shading. I wouldn't have a line there because it becomes harsh, like he's wearing lip liner. You want, so I would start your shading inside and lightly bring it out, and that way you're not getting a harsh line there. I'm trying.
How long does today's show go?
I gotta hurry. I got how many more to do? 1, 2, 3. I got 2 more to do. So that is where I would go with this one. I would making sure that you get some of the wrinkles in the dress gives you that feeling of it being in movement. So you've already got some started. There we go. So I would make sure and keep those. Fabric to me is fun. Once you get it laid out, it's like one of the easiest for me to do. I mean, you got to make sure that you have your folds. Again, if you're not doing a portrait and nobody sees your reference, it's okay if you change the folds. Nobody's gonna know. But putting these in is important. Right, most of this is in shadow, except for, and your stripes, some of them can go darker in the direction that.
And if I may, the reference goes up here, kind of curves in. You give a little bit of a curve to the shirt. Doesn't look quite so flat.
Why did Ted say number 1?
I don't know.
What does the 1 mean?
You're supposed to be watching chat. I don't know.
I am watching chat. He says 1, and then he says skip mine if you want. I have no real question.
Oh, okay. He's talking about his fish. But then I feel bad, Ted. I feel bad. We go dark under here.
Oh, okay.
We go dark under here because we have lighting here. We gotta get the feet. This is her petticoat.
Oh, yeah.
Petticoat junctions.
I understand now, Ted.
So, and again, I would go dark. You see her toesies are bending, and it's really important to have your lines in the right spot. But I definitely think you can do so much more with this and really get the feeling you're going for. Let's see here. This way. Right now I'm just trying to... In fact, we could even kind of... There we go. And this one darker. And again, just... There we go. I think it just needs more shading. I think overall you have a really good base. Some of the areas, let's see here, baby hair goes in all directions, even when you brush it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. You could almost do a black background on this young lady. That could also be an option. And what I'm trying to do is I want to be able to show that
she can have it.
The shading will have her sitting up. That's why I'm really pushing down on that. Using your shading, you get the right feeling. Let's see here again. So that means we'd also have to pull this in a little bit. Let's see here. The arm line feels a little off. We can kind of shape it a little bit better. That's where the dark burning. Use it as a negative burn to fix any shapes that might feel a little off. Bring this up. Shadings that is going to give you the biggest feeling of your art that you're looking for. Let's go. We can take that out, I think.
Gives it depth.
Yep. And it makes it so it doesn't feel flat. Let's see here. So we put her arm back a little bit. I've been like holding hard to the pencil trying to get some of these darks in. What I'm trying to do, because her waistband could have been a little down a little bit, as in here. Let's move it down a little bit, see what happens. Let's see here. This you might would have to say in this area of her arm in order. And see, that's how not putting lines in and starting off with a lower burn allows you these adjustments a little easier. Let me see here. This is still off. Let's see. You know what? I just might go Sharpie.
That's gonna get dark.
Yep. See, even though I had that piece of wood down, it still went through the wood. That's from doing the paper burn. Alright, let's see if we can fix this. It's on colored pencil now, so it's going to be harder to... Yeah, I can't do it with this one. Love, do you have a thicker Sharpie over there? Huh? To your left, in the... No, look at me. The green water bottle. Purple thing. No. Buy the green water bottle. I've got Sharpies in there.
This is empty.
That's too.
Yeah, I need a thick one so that I can just.
Here.
Thank you. Yes, that's what I needed right here. Hopefully it's still good. All right, let's see if I can. I can probably do this a little better than with colored pencil. Alrighty. And then I will do Cindy's very quickly. And then I think we shall be done for this Sunday night. Because we're losing you. I just want to show with the dark next to her head.
You're lost already, so she can't be talking about you.
Helps to shape this cutie's head. But because I'm doing it on colored pencil, it's not going to stick. I should have done this first.
Well, it's good for demo. You can see what your intent is.
I want to see Ted's fish.
Well, his fish is in the pile. You want to look at it? Oh, I got the pile. No, I don't. His fish is right here. That's his fish. Alright. I don't think that Patricia's with us tonight, so that I can ask.
Jason, is Patricia with us?
I don't know. He hasn't said her name.
She's going by another name.
There we go. Okay. So we'll reshape real quick. Yeah, because I have a lot of colored pencil down, it's not gonna do it. So that is some of the things I would look at continuing with this one. I don't think you need to necessarily start over. I think a bit of sanding in a couple areas, like right here. And maybe a little bit there. Because we need to make her torso higher. That's what I'm trying. Let's see here. Yeah, that one's still long. Darkening and following the shape of the dress with these, and making sure that you get the shadows should help in reshaping it. Because I have noticed that the stripes are a little different than the reference photo, which is fine.
You have to decide, is it a blue dress with white stripes, or is it a white dress with blue stripes?
Yeah. See, and I think that's what's throwing us off the most right now is the
that's brown.
Which one is that one? Oh, that's my Tombow. Let's see here. It is her torso. I think that it's throwing me off a bit. So let's see. You would have to sand this area. It would have to be sanded.
Ted says it's a green dress. What?
There's always one.
Oh, Ted's our one.
Yeah.
He's awesome to have.
That makes
Ted and Gregor and Cat.
It looks blue.
Does that mean I can't be the one anymore then?
No, you can be Jason's one. Aww. Yep, it's gonna be. You would have to sand this line in order to fix it. We gotta bring it down. Yes.
She's a black belt.
Right now she is. But I think the minute you bring down the torso, I didn't even think of using the Tombow markers.
Yeah, the brown matches a little better.
Yeah. It also goes with the colored pencil.
Yeah, that's quick.
Yeah. It helps if I was just trying to cap it. Thank you.
That's what you got assistants for.
I know, mine is sleeping.
What, Simone?
Exactly.
Well, B-team is here.
Thankfully, or we'd all be in trouble. Alright. So
I remember that.
Yeah, I wish Patricia could be in chat tonight, but hopefully she'll see this and let me know in group if this helped. I just threw off the ear. God bless it.
Just like and go.
Yeah. Don't look at the ear. Don't do what I did with the ear. I messed that up. You see, if you go a dark burn, you can get rid of that line. And getting rid of the line, you could fade it out lighter. It keeps you paying attention to this beautiful little one. instead of paying attention to, because you've already got a lot of lines in her dress, and since you want to keep those, because you chose to keep those, you need to have the background as simple as possible, because then it becomes too much. Alright. I think, hopefully I haven't screwed this up too much. So there's a few things I would fix, but I think you're off to a great start. And just keep going with it. Now, if you wanted to start over, I would definitely make sure that you transferred your drawing accurately. And whether it's a light box that you use with tracing paper in order to get the lines that you, only the lines that you want for your wood, and then transfer from the tracing paper, that might be a big help for you, because I think having your lines as accurate as possible on the drawing will make everything else a lot easier and less to fix.
I have a greenhorn question.
What's that?
What is a light box?
That pad underneath my pastel is a light box. If you hit the top left corner, oh, that's my burning. Don't want to look at my burning right now.
So this one here?
Yep. Top left corner is a button. You hit that. It has 3 different settings. You lay a piece of, you can lay paper. And
so you transfer it to the paper.
To the transfer paper.
Like this. And then you put it on your piece of your subject. Your
on my wood.
Okay.
With graphite paper.
If anybody else is out there is as new as me.
Okay, so for Cindy's moose, he said that this was a Harold Dow outline pattern that he was going off of. And you can absolutely use those patterns, but it's really important if you're going for realism. If you're not going for realism, you're going for a more stylized look, totally fine. But if you're going for realism, you need to see how many references you can find of a similar position so that you can see how the muscles lay. Like in this case, we're looking at the fur and muscle and the horns and how the lighting would hit. Based on what I'm seeing here, I would almost say the lighting's hitting right here, unless Cindy wants it to be otherwise. I think I had told Cindy and group that this needed more shading, I think. And we're just going to go with the marker. I don't feel like the lighting source is narrowed down. So if you like your reference photo that you picked, then I would go with the lighting in that. What you'll notice on moose fur, it's really important to follow the direction of the fur. Let's see here. I don't have Cheryl's drawing, so I can't attest to if it's accurate or not. But following the fur pattern, let's see here. And just looking at my reference, moose pattern, they're all animals' fur patterns. Most of them change. So it's watching where it changes. In fact, I will be doing a pattern for Troy tomorrow. So I get to learn if I even do that well.
The door's open. Wait, is it open?
So the head will be coming down. I'm just using this one for the darks. Yeah, it definitely helps seeing Carol's drawing to ensure that it's on. One thing about moose is they always have a chin. So trying to incorporate and make sure that chin's there. Let's see here for the eyes. I don't have. What I can do is look at a reference and see the shape of an eye. and see how it looks. I don't, like I said, I don't have Cheryl's pattern, so I don't know how she drew it. I'm just, let's see, that goes up a little bit. We got moose lip. So let's get that in there. Where's the nose? Where's the nose? The nose is with the lip.
So Sean Arnold says, hi Val. Oh.
Sorry. Sean hasn't been in. I haven't said how you doing.
Hi Val. Haven't been able to watch for a while. Good to see you are still most excellent teaching.
Oh, thank you. I try. All I'm doing is trying to point out what I see, and I didn't say earlier, I look at everybody's work the same way I look at mine. I think that's too dark. Alright, so we're going to have a hip here. We got the spine here. And when I was telling you, Cindy, about more shading, where an animal meets the ground, of course, depending on the light source, but in most cases, it's going to be darker along the ground. Following that fur pattern makes all the difference. Now, if what you can do is you can shade lighter, a solid color, and then go back with the burner and do darker fur strokes, if that makes you feel better, more comfortable, so that you're not having to do all these fur strokes at once. Let's see here, that's going to curve along the spine. What are you doing now, love?
I'm flipping the jacket on.
Ted says, must resist adult moose humor.
Let's see here.
Might have been during the chin area.
Oh, no.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moose lip. That's when it was.
Oh, okay.
Moose lip. So, gotta follow that fur pattern. That's really important. You can always darken, but if you're off on that fur pattern, it's just not going to feel the way you want it to. And fur follows form and then gets a colic.
Right.
Colic. Yeah, it follows the form and then gets a colic.
And it, because fur's kind of greasy and glossy, you'll have some areas without hardly any fur patterns, right?
Yeah.
Am I correct?
It depends on the animal.
Okay.
And how the light's hitting it. Like right here, I think it would be better with the light hitting in this direction, which means a lot
dark underneath.
Yep. And on the inside, which means we'd have darker here. It really does help if I have the line art, at the very least. Because now I'm looking at this moose, since I've decided that the light's going to come from this direction. Oh, no. I would draw this way. Yeah, I need to really see the line art. Because right there, I just completely changed the moose to look like that. Let's see here, bring the throat down. There we go. Now, if this is not what you're going for, I'm probably confusing the heck out of you. But to me, you could use a combination of these two reference photos. Let's see here. Now with moose, Are you sitting there falling asleep?
This freaks me out.
Why is my fuzzy caterpillar over there?
Well, it was on his shoulder for about a half an hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was waiting for him to turn and freak him out, but then it fell off, so now it's on the table.
Let's try. So the ear falls around the moose head. Let's see here. With this kind of lighting, you would not really see the eye.
Sean says, with the ground shadow at the moose,
yes.
Will you get to burn the shadow, or will you use close lines to create the fur texture in shadow?
What the heck is Sean?
You came in well. What I would do is darken up along the grass and fur line.
Arnold?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see a Sean in chat.
Because he just came in while you were out.
Oh.
So by
Welcome, Sean.
incorporating the grass into the fur, you ground the moose. Hopefully I'm doing what he's talking about. You could always go back and hit highlights on the grass with a knife.
I sharpened your weight pencil too.
Thank you. Unfortunately, the pastel works good on this paper, but my regular color pencil does not. Let's see here. But your moose would be sitting in the grass that you've created for it. So we need to bring that grass up into the moose. In fact, I think I need to switch. Where is it? Let's see if I can do this now. Let's see here. I really did change your burning into this reference photo. But even when you're just doing somebody's line art, finding a reference photo that you like, that is close. Let's see that. Moose have foreheads. Gotta give them a forehead. Their heads are thicker than what this line art is.
So Jason's a moose?
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. 10.
I thought it was funny.
So you've already got the mouth here, so we need to...
Oh, this is from George's presentation.
Yes. It was in my fairy garden. Let's see if I can get this. I'm gonna have to give this moose a bigger head.
I'm not understanding the question. Sinrose says, how do I darken shader?
Yes, with a shader.
Oh, with a shader. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what the... You would turn up your heat, and... I'm trying to remember. I don't remember which shader Optimus shader she has. Let's see here.
You're now 15%. Dog.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
I didn't even touch her.
You walked by her, didn't you? You looked at her, didn't you?
So that hair static cleans just sucks right off the floor.
And then he brings up my studio.
That's got to be good for the art. Just kind of blend it in there. You could just kind of glue it down there.
Yeah. Alright, so let's do some shading. And then I'm going to have to do something with you.
Oh, I think we just put him to bed.
Oh, I gotta cook dinner.
I'll cook dinner.
Alright. So yes, I would use your shader. I think you have the 18M. I would blend in the hair. Try to go in the same direction of the hair without putting in hair strokes. Because I think hair strokes would throw you off. So just shade it smooth, and then you can go back with the skew and put in specific hairs that you want Can you also post the line art for me? Because I really need to see it. Cindy. It's her work.
I was like, I don't know how to do that.
Not you. No, I need Cindy's. And the moose is dark.
And if you did, you probably...
Moose is dark. It's okay to go dark.
The moose is on fire.
You're just paying attention to where the light's hitting the fur, because where the light's hitting the fur, it is going to be glossier and lighter. It's still dark though underneath. Let's see here. I don't know that. And then on your bones, on your horns, where it's facing down is going to be darker, and where it overlaps is going to be darker. Luckily with horns you don't have to be exact, because every moose has different horns. And you can go back later.
Doritos are my favorite. How did he know?
And put highlights in if you wanted to.
Who did?
Teddy, I'm guessing. Because we talked about it.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see here. Okay. Some of this, depending on where you decide your light source is, that's where your lighter fur is going to be. And that will lighten it a bit. Let's see here.
Oh, I think we're... What do you call that when the little circle comes up?
Buffering.
Buffering.
Alright. Alright. We might have to. I don't feel like I've helped you, Cindy. I do think more shading. And I wouldn't worry about when you go shading, I wouldn't worry about the fur pattern as in getting the first strokes in. Just do the shading, and then you can go back later and shape the areas that you really want to stand out.
Sin Rose says her print was just black and white.
And that's totally fine. Like I said, does Cheryl have an actual finished drawing of the moose, giving you an idea of the shading, or is it just the line art and then you go from there? Because all that makes a difference. And if Cheryl or any other person, Laura Irish, if they don't include a specific drawing or photo for their reference, then I highly recommend you go online and do what I did and find something close to it. You're not copying it, but you need to see how certain things fall in the light and how it gets hit by the light. And because if you're doing your light in this direction, this will be lighter, this will be lighter. We got, of course, dark where the moose and the ground touch. This would be darker, this will be lighter, this will be darker, depending on how you want your moose to be. So finding a reference that's close, kind of mapping it out, even if you take a print out of her, okay, no finished moose. Okay, even print out the line art twice. One that you're going to use for transfer and another where you take a pencil to it and you shade it how you think you would want to shade it in your burning. And that will give you an idea of how it would look so that you're not jumping right in and then wondering where it kind of feels off. If you do it on your paper first, kind of like what I do here for the advice, then you can kind of have a visual of what you want. You know, your reference photo that you picked out is going to work with the line art that you're using. In fact, these two photos that I got of the moose, these are off of Pixabay, so they're free, copyright free. And just go from there.
She said there was no finished moose, just line.
Yeah, just line art.
Yep.
So it was just the outline of what he means by line art. It's like with the elephants that you picked up.
Okay.
Just the line art. So it's just what Cheryl drew as the main lines for the shape of the moose. And see, this is a baby moose. This is a big moose. And so the shape of the jawline and how the fur patterns fall, they're going to be different as the animal ages and the fur grows out. Yeah, I think that one's almost at birth, isn't it, love? Mm-hmm. Come back to me. Come back to us.
What's up?
Come back to us, love. Come back to us. Never mind.
What's going on?
Nothing. We're getting ready to end. Do you want to say bye to the toasties? And if we don't have any more questions, I think we're going to end it here. I didn't expect to have. Sorry, Teddy.
A message about,
it's okay.
You asked a question.
I just asked if this was a newborn moose or that was an older moose. Older baby moose.
No, it's like not new. Well, not newborn.
But not very old.
Yes. Very old.
Yeah, that's all I was asking. So we're going to say bye to the toasties now.
Bye to the...
Can you say bye to the toasties?
Bye to the toasties.
Okay, they can't hear you. The mic's over here and you're...
Bye, toasties.
Did we hear him? Because I don't know if we heard him.
I'm sorry, I'm so tired.
Mooseling. Okay. We're going to end it here. I might just put your ass to bed.
It's a calf.
Is it a calf? Yes.
This is like babies or calves.
Cows, yes, but I wasn't. Okay, we're done with the moose.
Okay.
We're done with the moose. I want to thank everybody who submitted art. And don't forget, you are awesome. You can do this. You're a pyro artist. Happy burning, guys. Bye.
Bye, toasties.
I made a